start walking in this street. She said, no, it will be shame for me. So I said, what extent should a man and a woman should wear the dress? Who should decide that? So she said, look, I don't know. I said, look, the Creator, He knows best than you and me. And He has defined the dress code. It is a complete way of life. So the Quran first tells, Surah Nur, chapter 24, verse 30 and 31, that the extent for the man is from the navel to the knee. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ in the book of dress, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. The man is supposed to cover their body from the navel to the knee. That is the extent. For women, the complete body should be covered except the face and hand up to the wrist. So there are many scholars, few scholars who say that should be covered, but since this is not found in the Quran and the Hadith, so the vast majority of scholars, they say it is permissible and women can only wear the niqab by showing the face and the hands. The other things, this is the difference between the men and women. The other 7 aspects is the same for male and the female. The second option is that the dress must not tight enough so that it can reveal the figure. Look, we have the dress. Either it is a dress or not, we don't know, but it can be measurable. Either a male or a female. It's looking odd. And how can you lower your gaze when there is something like that? The third option is the dress should not be transparent so that it can see through. Because that is not a dress, it can see through inside. There are dresses like the nets, you can see through, it's a transparent. So it is not permissible for the male and for the female. And it is not permissible to wear such a dress which invites trouble to others, which attracts the opposite sex. The fifth, that a man and a woman is not allowed to have that dress which is of the sign of the opposite gender. I cannot wear the dress of a woman because I will not be identified as a man. A woman is not supposed to wear the dress of a man because the identification is very important. The sixth aspect, that a man and a woman is not supposed to wear the dress which is the identification of an unbeliever. Like, we cannot wear the dress like a Sikh or like a person who is a Christian, wearing the gauze, wearing the other garbs and other things. We cannot wear the dress of the nuns. That is the signs of the unbeliever. We cannot wear the dress of the Jews or there are other people, Buddhists. We cannot wear that because that is the sign of an unbeliever and that can be identified. And the other twos is mentioned there in the hadith that a man and a woman is not supposed to the dress that is not belongs to his or her profession. I cannot wear a dress of a doctor because by profession I am an engineer and that is deceiving the people. And deceiving or falsehood is strictly forbidden in Islam. The eighth, a woman must not give perfume when she is going abroad. And that is clear. A man is not supposed to wear the coals. So there are restrictions, guidelines put by the Creator and the Messenger. And we find there is a reason for that. There is a reason for that. I went to ExxonMobil, there is a chemical industry. They said, look, if you wanted to go inside and travel and to see the factory, we have a team about 40 students from Chalmers. They said you have to wear these helmets, you have to wear these yellow coats, you have to have the shoes, the boot, the strong boots as we have recommended. I said, look, you say when a Muslim woman wear the hijab and put the garbs, this is subjugation. I said, look, this is also subjugation. You are putting me clothes. He said, no, this is your protection. This is a protection. I said, also Muslims need a protection. See the evil consequences in the society. 30,000 rapes in Sweden. In America, numbers are exhausted. Why? Because of the exploitation of the women. And that is what is the impact of the media. Look at the advertised today I saw more than dozens. Women have wear the silly dresses. Where the man is supposed to wear the coat and the tie. You see in the Nordstrand, Roosbagen, Hemma, very big sign, man is supposed to wear the full dress. But the woman, she is exploiting with the nonsensical dresses. And the women are victimized for that. How many Muslim women have been raped? No, she has always protected. The reason is given in the Quran, in Surah Ahzab chapter 33 verse 59. Allah the Almighty says, O Prophet, tell your wives and your daughters and the believing women, and when they go abroad, they should wear the veil so that they can be identified as a modest woman and they will be prevented from being molested. I ask so many of brothers of mine here that if you see a woman wearing the veil, will you teach that woman in here or you will feast the beauty of her? Because there is nothing to be seen. the figure or the transparent clothes. She wears nothing, complete cover. Will you feast her or will you try to rape her? Or do you ever think when you're drunk to rape such a lady? She said, look, if that woman, we know there is a poor where she is trying to hide her modest and she is trying to hide her beauty, we respect that women. Majority of the people, they respect the women who wear the niqab. And if you see in the market, if you have a branches of rose, everything is red. If there is a white one, that is identical. Among the hundreds red roses, there is one white rose that is identical. And everyone will look to the identical. So a Muslim woman, alhamdulillah, the virtuous, she is identical and she is beautifying the others. So look, I am an example, try to follow me. And that is the identity for identifying to being as a Muslim. That is a form of dawah. And the first reason is that I give you in the beginning of my talk, we are not trying to satisfy our ego. We are Muslim as long as we have submitted our will to the will of the Creator. The Creator says, He knows the wisdom. I can give dozens or hundreds of reasons, but nothing can be applicable. He knows the reasons. We say, Amanna Saddaqna. We hear and we believe. We confirm. We try to follow. We try to follow and submit our will to the will of the Creator. And I tell you, the sisters here, or the brothers who asked the question, that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed the hijab for a woman, and there is hijab for a man too. Hijab for the tongues, hijab for eyes, hijab for thinking. Hijab is mentioned in various aspects. So we can talk few hours together about these aspects, why it is, in which extent it is, and the reasons behind about the mentioning of hijab in the Quran. I hope that I try to illustrate and give the answers of the question.
I would just make one comment. There is, for those women who think that not wearing the hijab or not covering properly is a small thing, you should listen to the hadith. It's in Sahih Bukhari, that the Prophet ﷺ said that in the end of days, in my ummah, there will be women who are dressed but naked, meaning that they wear slinky clothes which you can see through, or tight-fitting clothes. And on their heads, their hairstyles will be like the hump of a camel. And he said about these women that these women will not even taste the smell of Jannah. They won't even feel the smell of Jannah. So it's not a small thing. So it's not a thing to be ridiculed or to be thought of as, I can do it if I want to, I can do it if I don't want to. So I was just want to finish with that. And then I would like to I saw there was someone having a question over there.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. I just wonder if you can give me the answer. What does the Quran say about adoption, to adopt a child?
Sister have asked one of the important questions about adoption. The Quran says in Surah Ahzab, the same surah, chapter 33,